You want to take a publicly administered program such as Medicare and turn it over to a private corporation. Well, tell me how my grandma's going to benefit from that.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question.
You're asking the elderly to take on the insurance companies when we can't take on the insurance companies.
Right. So,
do you know anything about Medicare?
Well, I'm not on it, no.
That's what I'm driving at.
Do you know anything about Medicare? What a brilliant, tough shot against a member of Congress. Welcome back to Hardball. Those were some of the questions U.S. Congressman Paul Ryan, the chairman of the Budget Committee, faced this week about his budget plan, which has been adopted by all but 4 of the House Republicans. Here's freshman Florida Congressman Allen West from Boca Raton explaining Medicare reform. This video was shot by one of his constituents, a progressive radio talk show host. Let's listen.
We're talking about a defined contribution. We're talking about putting the American citizens in charge of their health care decisions. And we're talking about bringing in competition and free market solutions.
I want to know how a profit motive makes Medicare more efficient. How is a 75-year-old who's obese with high blood pressure going to get insurance?
Wow, I guess somebody moved in on there. Anyway, can Democrats win back the House in 2012 by tying Republicans to the Ryan budget plan, which is, as I said, adopted by all but 4 of all the 200-some Republicans? Steve Israel of New York is a congressman. He's chairman of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, which is, he has the job of getting Democrats to, can you fellas and women win back the House of Representatives with this issue?
Absolutely. We are holding Republicans accountable for the defining vote in this Congress, and that vote was to end Medicare in order to fund tax cuts for big oil companies. These Republicans who beat us in the last election beat us by saying that they would come and protect Medicare. And in fact, what they did is they came and they terminated Medicare. They ended Medicare. And what you're seeing at these town hall meetings across the country is Republican members of Congress trying to defend the indefensible. And the American people are onto them. They're angry, and they're going to make a change in November.
Well, it seems to me there's 3 kinds of older people. There's people that feel old, people 65 and older, and then there's people 85. Elderly is the word we usually use for them. I wonder about an elderly person who may be getting help from their kids or maybe at a home somewhere getting help also from their kids, trying to figure out how in the world they're going to be able to buy health insurance at their age with all kinds of conditions at the age you get. You got perhaps the onset of Alzheimer's. You've got all kinds of heart problems. You may have diabetes by then. How do you go out and buy a policy with this stipend the government gives you? How would that even work is what I can't figure out. Steve.
Well, most Americans know that it doesn't work. Most Americans know that an $8,000 voucher that goes to an insurance company isn't going to come close to paying for your medical needs as a senior citizen. I mean, if God forbid you have cancer, what's $8,000 going to do for you if you have cancer, if you have a prolonged stay in the hospital?
Would you be able to buy a policy? Know that this doesn't could you even buy one? Congressman, could you even buy one at that age in that condition? Because it's almost guaranteed to cost the company more than the money you pay in the premium.
Well, that's exactly right. It's going to be almost impossible to buy it. Now, what I find staggering is these Republicans who say at these town hall meetings, well, it's okay if you're 65, we're going to protect you. This isn't going to kick in for another 10 years. What they're really saying is this. What they're really saying is we know this is such a bad idea. We're not willing to implement it now. We're going to implement it in 10 years. Well, you know what? If it's a bad idea now, it's a bad idea in 10 years. And the other issue is this. For people who are younger, who are 55, I'm 52. I've been paying into Medicare since I was bussing tables at the Jones Beach restaurant on Long Island. I've paid into Medicare. Now, when I get to be 65, what this Republican plan tells me is my money was for nothing. I don't get on Medicare. It's terminated. What I do get is the ability, a voucher that lets me shop for insurance with insurance companies who get a profit from that. It is just absurd on its face.
Let me give you some addresses where this message will go over well. Delaware County, Pennsylvania, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, Lackawanna County. Go up to where all the Democrats that got beaten last time and win back the seats, because you'll win every one of them with this issue. I don't know how you can lose. Here's Republican Congressman Pete Meehan, an example. He got the Sestak seat in Delaware. Sestak could have had it for life if he wanted. But here he is, man. He's a U.S. attorney. He has no idea that he's not an ideologue. He's a middle-of-the-roader. Here he is defending the far right on Medicare. Let's listen.
If you voted to abolish Medicare, how will you explain that to people who are in their 50s, who are out of work, that they will have not the Medicare that I have?
You said it made comment. that I voted to abolish Medicare. And that's factually wrong.
Well, how is that wrong?
Second, ma'am, let me answer the question.
I will.
And I'll talk to you. Thank you. I voted for the Ryan plan. What Paul Ryan has put out is a blueprint, a sense of what we would like to do, a direction that we'd like to go in.
Let me help you out with a visual there. Congressman Pat Meehan is a good guy. He's wearing a French blue work shirt. Do you think it'll help? He's trying to explain that he really didn't vote for the killing of Medicare. He voted for a plan to kill Medicare, a blueprint. Nobody buys a blueprint unless they're going to build a house. What is he talking about? Anyway, your thoughts.
Chris, all of the flip-flopping, the sidestepping, and the backpedaling in the world is not going to make up for the fact that he voted to terminate Medicare. And, you're absolutely right about our drive for... I'm sorry?
Do these guys know what they did when they put the noose around their neck? You got over 200 Republicans, a lot of them from moderate districts, swing suburban districts, that were in a bad mood because of the economy last year, that voted Republican because they're angry. Well, they're going to be even angrier next year and vote Democrat. What are your thoughts? Does he know what he did?
We need 25 seats to win the House back. You're absolutely right. In Pennsylvania, 3 of those districts are in the suburbs of Philadelphia. We've got 2 additional Pennsylvania districts. And in those districts, this vote to kill Medicare is enraging people, absolutely enraging people, particularly because these candidates, Meehan and Fitzpatrick and Barletta, promised that they would come to Washington to support Medicare, to strengthen Medicare. Killing Medicare is neither supporting nor strengthening it, and their constituents know it full well.
You know what? These are seats even I could win. You know what? This is Tip O'Neill politics. This is basic bread and butter, working wages, Democratic issue, and the Republicans have stepped in the goo on this one. Thank you, Steve. I watched you, Congressman, the other day on one of the other shows. I thought you were the clearest expositor of a very clear message that I've heard. Some of your colleagues get confused with distractions and too many words. You've got it down. Just teach them how to do what you do, and you'll get 218 next time, sir. Thank you for coming on Hardball. You're a great DCCC chair.